Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the RMALTI RM001 GS Automatic. I purchased this watch with affiliate earnings from this channel for full retail price of $184. After taxes and shipping, the cost was about $202, so I bit the bullet on this thing. So you guys don't really have to. Buying a new brand from AliExpress just off of pictures is always a bit of a gamble. I kind of saw what I liked, and I just went for it. I figured, I would rather take the hit and save some of you guys some money if this thing turned out to be a turd. Thankfully, it has been mostly good. So this one really actually paid off quite well. Like I mentioned, the retail price for this watch is $184 US. Currently, there's a coupon for about $10 off, so that'll bring the price down a little bit. I'm just not sure how long that coupon is going to last for. And they do have some of the non-bracelet models on sale currently, so they do participate in the sales, which is nice to see. This watch comes in a ton of different colorways. There's blues and grays and blacks. I believe there's green, brown, gold indices, gold cases. You have the option of the stainless steel strap or leather strap. I mean, you got tons of different options. So go check out their site and their store, and you can see everything that's available. They also have these cool dial textures. So they got like the linen dial here, and they've got a kind of a tree bark style dial. And they also have sunburst, so lots and lots of dial options to choose from. And I think they all look really good. I'm kind of tempted to get a rose gold with the brown. I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, the watch is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown, screw-down case back, 100 meters of claimed water resistance. It comes on a nice stainless steel bracelet and clasp, or you got the leather strap, and it's powered by the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. So I've been wearing this watch quite a bit since I received it. If you want to see an unboxing to see what comes in the package, go up here. But I think everything else will be right here. I will mention the packaging just because it's actually pretty decent. So there's the box that it comes in. It's a nice fold over. You got a spot for straps here. It comes with a tool. And then the watch comes in this little thing here. So it is kind of like a nice carrying little travel pouch. Pretty hard-sided. It's unbranded or, no branding or anything like that, but I think it works pretty good, and it's perfectly acceptable, and actually above acceptable for this price point. So I think we should jump right into this review. But before we do, doing a quick wrist check. Today, got a watch in last night. This is the San Martin SN033G. It's a new model from San Martin. It's kind of their 39mm field watch with a coin edge bezel. I think it looks awesome. The lume on this thing is killer. Can't wait to show it off to you guys. And it is on sale currently, so go check out that. Yeah, let's do the dimensions. So we've got a case diameter of 40 millimeters. Case thickness is 11.8 millimeters. We've got 22 millimeter lug width. The bracelet tapers down to 18 millimeters at the clasp. The lug tip to lug tip is 47.4. End link to end link is 51.6. And sized up for my 7.5-inch wrist, it weighs 161 grams. So the watch is really nicely sculpted. I mean, you can see the side profile there. You got some nice turn down to the lugs, drilled lugs there. And I mean, it's a pretty hefty watch, but that's because it's on this 22 millimeter strap. I mean, I think this thing looks amazing, absolutely amazing. I love the way that it wears. I do wish it was 20 millimeter lug width, but yeah, I think it actually looks pretty good on this strap here. And yeah, I'm just going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5-inch wrist. And as you can see, it wears great. The 22 millimeter lug width, in my opinion, it doesn't look horrible, but I think it would look better, a little more balanced if it was a 20 millimeter lug width. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. You can see lots and lots of light play off of those indices. Looks super, super good. Really like this thing. The bracelet, I mean, it just looks awesome. I've got no problems with the bracelet. Looks great. What do you guys think? There's the down the wrist shot. You see it's got a decent amount of curvature to those lugs. So it does hug the wrist pretty good for what it is. Yeah, I like it. It looks really good. Very happy with it. And here we are in some direct sunlight, as you can see. I mean, this thing is great. You know, lots and lots of AR coating on that crystal. Keeps the dial pretty legible for being a gray on silver. I think it looks really good. But yeah. What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty good though. Let's go throw it on a couple straps. And here we are on the included leather strap. I mean, it looks okay. Still, these things are not my favorite. This one's a little stiff. This is also the first time I'm wearing it, so it's, yeah, it looks alright. Not a fan. Definitely worth, unless you've got some nice straps, to get it on the bracelet. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Just look at the light play off those indices, though. Man, that looks awesome. Alright, I'm going to go throw down whatever straps I can find, and we'll get back to it. Yeah, here we are on a 20mm 2-stitch leather strap. This is more just to give you an idea of color options for this dial. I do think that looks really good though, just the color. I need to pick up some 22mm straps though, apparently. Yeah, it looks good. I'm going to go throw it on whatever else I can find that fits this thing though. Here we are on a modified NATO strap, just black, just simple. Just as, again, more just to give you an idea of what it might look like with one layer underneath the watch there. See, it still wears pretty good. And yeah, I think the black on this gray looks alright. Lots of black straps though. We got one more strap though to throw it on, and we'll get back to the review. Lastly, here we are on a black and gray NATO strap. There it is with 2 layers underneath. Sits up a little high, but still not bad. Completely usable in my opinion. And actually, I think this combo looks okay. Still not my favorite. This will be living on the bracelet, I think. But yeah, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Alright, let's go back inside and we'll get back to the review. Yeah, let's talk about the case finishing. So case finishing on this thing is very, very nice. I am super impressed with this watch. This reminds me a lot of San Martin, like in the early days. So it's not quite up to par with what San Martin is doing now. But back in the day, I think this thing could go toe-to-toe with it. It's very, very nicely done. So we're going to go over the finishing right here. So on the top of the bezel here, you have a vertical brushing, as you can see there. Really nicely done. It's not, sometimes when you get these bezels that have a vertical brushing, they get put on crooked, so the brushing kind of goes at an angle. This one, to me, I mean, it looks pretty much spot on, straight up and down. Looks really, really good. And then below that, you've got a nice high polished chamfer around the outside. Very nicely done. You can see the transitions here from the brush to the polish. Super smooth. I mean, on the tops of the lugs here, you've got a vertical brushing right there, down to a polished chamfer again. Really nicely done. And then finishing off with a horizontal brushed case. You see you've got drilled lugs there, which is a really nice touch. Very happy with that. I mean, the case finishing on this thing is so dang smooth. I'm just loving it. Every time I pick this watch up, I am excited and happy that I purchased it. You can see the polishing. It does continue. I'm going to see if I can show you here. It's kind of hard with the there you go. So it does continue onto the lug tips and onto this little bottom section right here of the lugs as well. So nice to see that. And then you've also got this nice little polished accent on the inside of the lugs there that kind of go down to where the bracelet meets the watch. So very happy with that. And then brushing on this little edge here, kind of in between the lugs. I think the finishing on this watch is spectacular. Very, very happy with the finishing on this thing. Over on this side here, you do have the RMALTI logo. So it's kind of 2 R's that are kind of intertwined there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but yeah, really nice logo. I think I kind of like that. Nice grip on this crown here. I mean, just look at that. This thing is really just, I mean, it's kind of takes my breath away now that I'm really getting real close to it with the macro lens. I mean, it looks so good. So flipping it over to the case back, you can see here, it is a mostly polished case back and case bottom, as you can see right here. Nicely honed on the edges here. The case back, it's pretty simple. It has your typical spec sheet around the outside. I think I actually like the font they chose there. Get the model number, and then you got your typical notches to get a tool in there if you ever want to mess with the NH35. Very happy with that. We're going to test that for sapphire in just 1 second. So overall, with the case finishing, I mean, this thing is absolutely stunning. Love how they did it. I love the execution of it. Yeah, there's not much, if anything, that I would change about it. They nailed it, guys. They just absolutely nailed it. All right, so let's talk about the crystal on this thing. So first things first, we will test it for sapphire. You can see the front is sapphire, and the back is also sapphire. So that is nice to see. You know, at this price point, I think that's kind of expected. These flat sapphire crystals, they're not super expensive, so the fact that they took the time and put an actual sapphire in there is nice, but kind of expected. The sapphire on the front here, very nice. It's very simple. You've got a chamfer around the outside. It does sit ever so slightly above the bezel, as you can see there, but it's really nice. Plenty of AR coating, and it is clear AR coating, and it looks absolutely great. I mean, there's at points this crystal, it looks like it just disappears, and you get plenty of light play off the dial because of that. And yeah, I think they did a really good job sourcing this crystal. Very, very happy with it. Okay, so let's talk about the dial on this thing. And the dial is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Like I mentioned, they sell this with this linen dial, which I think is the best one. They also sell it with kind of a wood pattern, and then they sell it in sunburst, and then they got a bunch of different colors too. But I think they just nailed it. This dial is absolutely stunning. Very, very nicely done. You see on the outside here, you've got a chapter ring with the minute track printed on it. Nicely done, nicely printed. You can see here, everything looks, I mean, maybe getting real close to it. It looks a little off, but I mean, it is so close that I'm just noticing it now. But yeah, very nicely done. The indices on this thing sparkle like crazy. And the nice thing about them is that the top surface of them, as you can see here on this kind of 3-bar here at the 12 o'clock, that top surface is actually brushed. And then all the other surfaces are polished. So they sparkle like crazy, but they also are legible the entire time. That same thing goes onto the hands here. That top surface is brushed, and then you've got a nice polished chamfer on either side there. Really nicely done. I mean, these indices are they're great. I mean, this as you've been noticing, I'm sure. I'm trying to just kind of rock this watch back and forth a little bit just so you can see the sparkle of it. It looks very, very nice. So happy with that. You have the RMALTI brand here at the 12 o'clock. Again, nicely finished. Very happy with that. This one doesn't really disappear. I think if the dial was black, it might kind of disappear in certain lighting, but because it's gray, it's pretty much always visible. Very happy with that. Simple automatic text here at the 6 o'clock. Getting you a nice shot of that linen dial. It just looks really good. Very, very happy with this dial, guys. It looks so cool. Very, very cool. You do have a kind of truncated 3 o'clock index here, and then you've got a nicely accented date window. Date window is centered absolutely spot on. Framed nicely. Very happy with that as well. Man, I don't know what to tell you guys. This dial and these hands, they are so nicely done. Getting real tight on this here. You can see the capped second hand. Looks amazing. I love that little detail that companies are doing. The minute and hour hands, perfectly sized. I mean, reaching right out to the edge of the dial, nice and bold. They look just awesome. I'm so happy with it. The only real letdown of the dial is that there's no lume. Now, I'm not sure what I would prefer. I like the fact that in between all these brushed surfaces, you have a polished surface, so that's where they'd have to put the lume. So I'm fine that there's no lume on this thing, especially since it's such a sparkly dial and it kind of leans more towards a dressy, kind of go anywhere, do anything watch. I'm okay with it not having lume, but I kind of would like it to have some lume. So that's just something to consider. But otherwise, this dial is absolutely phenomenal. Let's talk about the movement in this thing. So the movement, it's the Seiko NH35. You guys know it. You guys love it. I love it. 21,600 beats per hour. It hacks, it hand winds, it does everything you need it to do. It's reliable, it's accurate, it's affordable if you ever need to change it. Yeah, I've got no problems with it. Pulling it out to the third position hacks the movement. And I mean, the crown on this thing, very grippy. There's just a teeny tiny bit of wobble on it, but it's never been an issue for me. Yeah, the thread engagement, I mean, it picks it up right away, very smooth, even with my big fingers and these gloves on. I've got no problems, nice and smooth, very happy with the movement. It's obviously nothing special. I have seen a couple models that they threw on a custom rotor, but not on this one for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And again, the movement is operated by that 3 o'clock screw down crown with the nice branding on it. And yeah, I've got no issues with the NH35. They've kept the case thickness on this in check, especially even with that NH35. It's a thicker movement. So I'm happy that the case thickness is still in check with that movement. Mine has been running pretty good. As you can see here, it's been running about 10 seconds a day. That beat air, I don't know if that's accurate or not. I've not noticed any issues with this movement, so just keep that in mind. All right, so let's talk about the bracelet. So bracelet is really, really nice. You got solid end links, as you can see there. It's a 5-link bracelet, so these polished little bits, those are separate little pieces, which is nice to see. Getting real close, you can see they're not just a smooth, rounded surface. They kind of have some chamfers to them, so they do play with the light really nicely. Yeah, very happy with this thing. The finishing on this bracelet is excellent. You've got a vertical brushing on all the links except for those polished little bits. And the brushing on this is done really well. This thing kind of shines like a St. Martin bracelet would shine. Very happy with that. I do have a little tiny, I think when I'm holding it like this, it does kind of rub, as you can kind of see there. It does kind of rub when it gets into certain spots. So I'm just noticing that now. So that's a little bit of a letdown. Otherwise, though, I think the finishing on this bracelet is really good. Even the ends of these links are finished nicely. It does taper from 22 down to 18 at the clasp. You have screw pins for adjusting, and the RMALTI design clasp. Interesting that they put design there. I wish they would just put RMALTI kind of, this way across the clasp, but it is what it is. Nicely done though. Very, very happy with that. Brushed on the top, brushed on the sides here. Everything is nicely rounded. You have 3 micro adjust, 2 nice pushers here. Very solid feedback on those. Inners are all milled. You can see the tolerances on this are super tight. Very, very nicely done. I am really happy with this clasp. It functions perfect. Nice solid clicks when you're snapping it back down. It's not overly long or anything like that either. So I think it looks really good. It feels really good on wrist. It functions really well. There's no quick adjust or anything like that, but yeah, not a big deal on a watch like this. I've got no issues with this thing. Very happy with it. I forgot to mention, you do have polishing on the sides here. And again, the polishing is done really good. End link fitment, again, super solid on this thing. No issues with that. I think the end links are done pretty good. They do protrude a little bit, but it's not a deal breaker at all, I don't think. Very happy with the fitment on this thing. And you can see somebody mentioned a little gap in between the case and the end link. Maybe right there's a little tiny gap, but it's not bad. Even on that side, it's really tight in the case. I'm really happy with the bracelet. This bottom edge here is maybe just a tiny sharp. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's such a heavy watch. Like I feel like I have to really button it down a little bit. So I do wear this a little bit tighter than something else that's a little bit lighter. So I've noticed kind of depressions on my wrist or something like that. But I don't think this bracelet is any more sharp than what you get on a typical St. Martin bracelet. Like, for instance, this one here. Yeah, I don't think it's any more sharp than that. So yeah, overall, I am really happy with this bracelet. I'm really happy with this watch, guys. Hey guys, coming in after the review, completely forgot to talk about the leather strap that comes with the watch. or you can get the watch on. I'm not sure that this thing comes with the watch if you get it on the bracelet, so just keep that in mind. But you can get this watch on just the strap. So here's the strap. It's a black crocodile strap. I think they do offer different colors, blue and brown. It's not great. It's a shiny croc. I'm not a fan of it at all. It does have quick release, which is nice. You got one floating keeper, you have one stationary keeper. The stitching, I think, is perfectly fine. Yeah, I've got no real issues with it. The buckle is actually really nice. You have the RMALTI branding there. I'm not sure why they keep changing up their branding, but yeah, that looks really nice. Very solid buckle. You can see it is brushed and polished, kind of in the same manner as the case. So you got brushing on the sides, polish chamfer, and then brushing on the top. Really nice, solid buckle. Very happy with that. I do like that they offer quick release because, in my opinion, you're going to want to get rid of the strap, but that's just me. I've only worn it once, and it was a little stiff, so maybe it just needs breaking in. I'm not sure, but I'm just not a fan in general of these crocodile straps. So just yeah, keep my opinion out of it, I guess. But that's just kind of what you can expect from the strap. If I had a bunch of 22mm straps laying around, this one would come off immediately and it would go on something else. So yeah, just wanted to throw that in there. So there you go, guys. That is the RMALTI RM001, a brand new brand, a brand new watch. That RMALTI branding may be changing. I'm not really sure. I'm not personally bothered by it. I think it sounds fine, RMALTI. So yeah, I think they are working on that. So maybe keep an eye out on Reddit. I told them I would do a poll for them if they brought me, you know, three to five names. I'd put up a poll. So keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, I think if you are waiting for this watch, go and get it because it is freaking amazing. I'm super pumped with this watch. I love the way it looks, and I think it's great. There's not many downfalls to this thing, and I think you're really going to like it. So if you guys are interested in purchasing this, I'll be leaving a link down below. So yeah, go buy with confidence, guys. I mean, this thing it's sweet. It's been a real gem and a surprise, and I'm happy to see that there's another high-end player in the market, and they're putting out some really cool watches. So go check them out. Go check out their store. They've got a bunch of watches. They even have a couple watches coming. They've got a fluted bezel dress watch, and then they've also got another dive watch with some snowflake hands. So yeah, go check out those watches, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more of these watches on the channel. I think that's it though. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.